Shoppers were out at the Tower Plaza J.C. Penney store today, out taking advantage of last-minute bargains before the store closed its doors for the last time. But the closing sale with its bargain prices began last month, and by today, most of the store's racks and shelves stood empty.
We've done very well in moving out the merchandise. We probably have 3 racks of merchandise and 4 or 5 dump tables left of odds and ends, and that's about all we have left.
Only about a dozen employees were on hand today to help move out the remaining merchandise. The store did employ about 200, and Hill says Penney's was able to relocate most of those workers.
We've been very fortunate that we have been able to place everybody in the store that has worked for us for at least a year or more.
Many of the employees helping out here today have worked at this store for years, some since it opened in 1959, and they're all sad to see it close.
It was like this when I came in. It's going to be like this going out.
How do you feel about this closing?
Very sad, really very sad. It's been quite a trauma in my life.
It's rather sad, really. And it's going to hurt the neighborhood because so many of them are old faithful customers, you know, coming to this store and been coming for several years. And it's going to hurt a lot of people.
And last day customers at the Penney store said they'll miss it too.
I don't know, it's just sad to me. I know so many of the clerks here, and I buy most of my things here.
Well, there won't be a Penney's too convenient to me anymore. I guess the closest one to me will be I have to go to Christown or over to Mesa if I want to shop at Penney's. There's always the catalog, but I'll miss this old store and this shopping center in particular.
As the sign inside the Penney's door said, all sales today were final. Jim Alberg, News Center 10.
This first week of school at ASU has been a busy one for parking enforcement officers. Every day there have been hundreds of parking violations. Here's another person who has been cited. Since school started on Monday, ASU parking enforcement officers have issued 1,000 parking citations. The average fine, $18. What kind of violations are you noticing?
Safety zones, red curbs, parking in disabled, parking in reserved parking areas.
On any given day at ASU, there are an estimated 40,000 vehicles on campus. To try and solve the parking violation problem, university officials will start a new program next week.
This semester, Parking and Transit Division has set up controlled lots, reserved lots. People, faculty, staff, or student can buy decals for these lots for the school year, and these lots are controlled by a gatehouse attendant. They have a decal on their car that allow them in. The gatehouse attendant would not allow anyone in that didn't have a decal for those lots. Now, of course, that is a more expensive parking permit than the open lots.
And for those parking violators who are caught 5 times or more, a steel clamp or boot will be placed on their tires to prevent them from driving away. ASU has used a steel clamp for several years. During last year's spring semester, more than 35,000 parking tickets were issued by ASU parking enforcement officers. Jesus Hernandez, News Center 10.
Just east of the Black Canyon Freeway and north of the Central Arizona Project Canal are 30,000 acres of desert land that John F. Long wants to transform into a new town of 60,000 people.
While construction won't begin for about 2 years, this desert scene 20 miles north of Phoenix is destined to look like this. The developer says Newtown will have a water distribution system that stresses conservation.
We will be cutting the water consumption to 26 gallons of water per day per person. Now the city of Phoenix is now approximately 250 or 260 gallons per day per person.
Long says water from kitchen and bath will be treated, then used to water lawns and golf courses. Electricity will be provided by a solar energy plant, but there will be no solar panels on the homes.
We are using, or will be using, the photovoltaic cells, which generates electricity from sunlight. This energy then would power all of the needs of the home.
He says while the town will compete with Phoenix for some high-technology industries, the fact it's self-contained fits the urban village concept.
It would have its own employment base. The inhabitants would live, work, and play within their given area. this cuts down on the crosstown traffic that has created such problems.
He says the several $100 million new town project will attract diverse population and income groups. Marcus Wright, News Center 10.
Touting itself the largest establishment of its kind in the Southwest, the Point is certainly one of the most successful resort stories in the past 5 years.
When the Point opened in April of 1977, in fact, many people were surprised at the location at that particular point in time because there was really nothing around us except a very blighted area.
Celebrating its 6th anniversary today, the resort was making a special point to honor its 1 millionth guest. So this morning, hotel management and guests were on hand to check out who was checking in. And at 10:30, the unknown someone was getting very close.
We're about 10 people away from the millionth guest, about 10 check-ins away from the millionth guest.
As a point of promotion, there was an air of excitement in the lobby as minutes ticked away.
It's 10:35 a.m. We're within 2 guests of 1 million.
Just 2 guests away. We've got the Point.
A great deal of our guests, our clients, actually come from the Phoenix area, and the Phoenicians have been a very important part of our success. It's very possible in the next few minutes that a Phoenician could be our millionth guest.
Very possible, Mr. Brooks, but in this case, you're about 2,000 miles off. The millionth guest to make the Point comes in the way of the Bryant family from Munster, Indiana.
Congratulations. Bob Brooks. May I have your name, please?
Phil Bryant.
Ms. Bryant?
A litany of prizes was read as the bewildered Bryants looked on. A 1 week's all-expense-paid vacation at the Point, travel and rental car included.
Thank you.
Champagne.
Thank you very
Thrills
much.
and
Flowers.
Andrew and the flowers.
More champagne.
Thank you.
Mariachis. And just what the Bryants always wanted, framed signatures of the staff.
Thank you very much.
I'm a little shocked, and I just asked my wife if this is a joke. If it is, it's a beautiful one.
So it just goes to show you it's not always the third time that's the charm. For the Bryants of Munster, Indiana, it was their 4th visit to Phoenix that was their high point. Johnny Banks, News Center 10.
It takes about 5.5 hours to drive to Lake Powell, located by Page at the very top of the state, most of it stretching into Utah. Awesome is the word to describe the size of this lake, the 2nd largest man-made lake in the country, backed up by the giant Glen Canyon Dam. There are 27 million acre-feet of water in the 186-mile-long lake, and if you stretched out its shoreline, you'd have nearly 2,000 miles of it. Breathtaking is the word to describe the Lake Powell scenery. It's been called a monument valley or a Grand Canyon with water. Lake Powell is a boater's paradise, but if you're boatless, there are a variety of tours available at the Waweep Lodge, tours that range in price depending on their length.
If you were to go to Four Corners, New Mexico, somehow got up on top of some of those plateaus, you could actually see that Tower Butte. And that's what the Indians back at that time would do to lead the wagon train down to the crossing.
One of the things that makes a visit to Lake Powell very interesting are these incredible rock formations you see on the boat tours. What do you think about what you're seeing here today?
Beautiful.
With the rock formations and the what the weather and wind does to the rocks, it's fantastic.
The tour fares start at $5.50 for adults, $3.95 for children. But to see the highlight of Lake Powell, you would have to pay considerably more on a half-day or full-day cruise. Since the only way to get to it is by boat, many might agree that the highlight is well worth the price.
It's absolutely magnificent.
Right, there's nothing like it.
There's nothing like it. We
really-
have never seen anything like it. It's just absolutely breathtaking.
We're from California, but I think this got it beat.
They're talking about the legendary Rainbow Bridge, the world's largest natural bridge that Mother Nature took millions of years to carve into a red stone arch. Revered by the Navajo Indians for centuries, the Rainbow Bridge was not seen by the white man until this fellow saw it in 1909.
You having a good time? Renting these houseboats, pretty good deal, huh? Very good. Yeah?
Another one of the big attractions on Lake Powell is the houseboats. There are 4 sizes of houseboats that sleep 4 to 10 people, and the rentals run into the hundreds of dollars. But the way to take the expense out of a houseboat is simply to share the cost. A 50-foot houseboat that sleeps 10 costs $1,250 for a week. That's $250 a couple. 7 days of living on the water surrounded by some of the most magnificent scenery imaginable. And of course, Lake Powell is a fisherman's heaven, filled with such freshwater desirables as largemouth and striped bass, rainbow and brown trout, and northern and walleye pike.
It's impossible for us to bring you a true picture of what Lake Powell is really like. You'll just have to come and see it for yourself. On Lake Powell, Mike Ara, News Center 10.
A lot of kids got their Labor Day weekend off to a good start in Mesa today. At the annual Kinderfest Festival at Pioneer Park, the youngsters got to toss eggs around, as well as participate in a number of other fun events put together by the Parks and Recreation Department.
The Recreation Department wasn't sure what the turnout would be like for its fun fair because of the Labor Day weekend, but the kids did show up, and they had a good time.
Ready? First toss.
With the temperature well over 100 degrees, it probably wasn't too disappointing to be splashed by a broken water balloon. But there was an opportunity to get out of the sun and into the shade, where the youngsters took part in coloring contests on paper and on their toes.
What we do is the kids sit down and they use their own imagination and paint their big toe however they want to.
And the kids were creative.
What are you turning your big toe into?
A person with a bonnet on.
The kids weren't the only ones having fun. Today's Kinderfest was meant to be a family affair, and parents, like Al Brown, also took part.
It's a blast. It really is. A chance for us to kind of do something together that's different and fun.
But one of the biggest hits with the kids was this mini police car from the Phoenix Police Department.
My name is Phil Jr., but you can just call me Junior. I'm new on the Phoenix Police Department. I've been helping my dad, Big Phil, talk to boys and girls like you about bicycle safety rules.
The kids were impressed with Phil Jr.'s flashing lights and siren, as well as most everything else.
I like it. I think it's neat.
Jim Almberg, News Center 10.